Hi there, welcome back to my channel, and I'm very happy to see you here. My name is Soy, and I'm a UX designer at Google. The past 2 weeks has been difficult in the tech industry. As you might know, some companies went through mass layoffs. 50% of workforce at Twitter were laid off last week, and Meta has laid off more than 11,000 employees a few days ago. I feel very sorry for people who got impacted, and I know a lot of people might need to find new jobs as soon as possible. So I'm here to help. I'm going to give away 2 30-minute portfolio critique for free to help those of you who got impacted by recent layoffs. You just need to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and comment down below to let me know that you're interested in getting this free consultation. And then I'll pick 2 subscribers to do the sessions with me. A UX portfolio is the most crucial asset of any UX designers. Most companies hiring for UX positions would only consider candidates if they provide a link to their work. Unless you're a very famous designer that a lot of people in the industries have heard about your work, you still need a portfolio to demonstrate your skills and abilities as a designer. So in today's video, I would like to answer 2 commonly asked questions and share some helpful tips to help you create a stellar case study that will make you stand out in a competitive market. The 2 questions I would like to answer today are: how to present your design process if you didn't do enough user research in a project, and how to showcase your team collaboration skills in a case study. On my channel, I'm dedicated to all things about UX job interviews and product design. I'm also offering one-on-one career coaching to help you nail your next job interview. So if you want to get more interview advice, do a mock interview, or just talk about career development in general, feel free to use the link down below and book a session with me. Also, follow me on Instagram if you want to reach out to me or just want to learn more about what I do outside of work. My Instagram handle is SoyDesign_Picks. If you're into fashion and jewelry and are looking for OOTD inspirations for professional or social occasions, definitely check out my Instagram or SoyDesignPicks.com, a designer jewelry website. As the holiday season is coming up, we're starting a buy 3 get 3 sales till the end of November. Use code B3G3 to shop now. Don't miss this holiday sale to brighten up your holiday look. This is a question that I got asked by so many mentees, and I agree that user research is a critical part of a UX design process. In best practice, we should do user research as much as possible because it helps us to understand the user pain points and their needs, and user insights are actually very valuable guidance to make better design decisions. But in reality, some companies don't have the budget to hire user researchers to support teams to conduct comprehensive user research. Sometimes due to tight timelines, some teams would just have to be scrappy in certain parts of the process or even skip some of the steps in order to meet deadlines and goals. And that puts designer in a dilemma because we were taught to include user research in our design process, but in reality, sometimes we don't get a chance to do user research to deliver projects. So how can we talk about our design process in a case study if there's no enough user research? Let's talk about what are some alternative methods of doing user interviews, doing user research, and how to present those methods in our portfolios. First of all, you need to understand the purpose of doing user research is to get to know who your target audiences are and what user problems you are going to solve. The traditional user interviews and surveys are not the only ways to get to know your target audiences. There are other methods you can take to collect user signals. Method number 1, you can reach out to sales team if your product team work closely with sales representatives. The sales team has a comprehensive understanding about customers and will be able to share with you how customers perceive a product, what they complain about, and what competitors are doing to win customers. Their marketing insight will help you get a better understanding of who users are and what they need. Method number 2, work with the data analysts or engineers to do user data analysis. Data is power, and it actually gives you very reliable and objective signals of things you want to learn more about. Traditional user interviews might take a long time to collect user feedback. Imagine that each user interview session ranges from 30 minutes to an hour. You will be able to do at most 8 sessions a day and 40 sessions a week, and you will spend at least double the amount of time to analyze all the scattered user feedback you have collected. However, if you work with a data analyst or an engineer to do user data funnel analysis, analyze user drop-off points, conversion rate and retention rate, etc., you'll be able to easily get a clear picture of where in the flow are users most likely to abandon the product and how long does it take for users to complete certain tasks. And you can use these signals to identify where in the existing experience needs optimization and do investigation in the right direction. Most importantly, doing user data analysis allows you to collect user signals at scale. The user signals we collect from user interviews are just from less than 40 people, but by doing user data analysis, we will be able to understand user behavior of a very large group of target audiences or even all customers. And we can then leverage the user behavior data to inform design decisions. Method number 3. You can collect user feedback by reading product reviews of both the product you're currently working on and competitors' products online. For example, if you have a product with a mobile app component, the App Store reviews can be a great resource for user research. The app reviews in terms of rating can be ambiguous. You can tell the general likability of the app, but cannot undertake user research through ratings. The reviews, on the other hand, are full of details. If somebody gives a 5-star rating, don't just see the ratings, but also read the reviews to fully understand which part of the app is appealing to the user. And in the case of a low rating, it is important to understand, is it some feature that is not functional at all, or the user just needs a tweak of some existing features. And you can do the same to analyze user feedback of competitors' product. Method number 4. Get to know your target audiences and propose solutions to user problems by doing a cross-functional stakeholders workshop. Sometimes your cross-functional partners are experts and they have deep understanding of the users. For example, a product manager might have a lot of background knowledge of a product and the users. Try to download user information from them by setting up a cross-functional workshop. Invite them to do lightning talks to share their knowledge about the product and the user problems, and organize brainstorming sessions to generate solutions with stakeholders. So now, since we know there are a few alternative methods of user research, don't stress out or even fake it if you didn't do user research for a project. I've seen some mentees conducted user interviews after completing a project just for the purpose of putting together a case study. And the research insights just seems like they were made up and didn't help showcase a good UX process. I would recommend don't fake anything in your case studies because regardless of how good you make them look real, it is actually defeating the purpose of showing your design thinking and process. In job interviews, I actually got questions from interviewers like, what would you do if there's no UX research? They ask questions like that because it's very likely that their team actually don't have any UX research resources. So they want to know how you work on a team when there's no UX research support and whether you'll be successful in a role with very limited resources. So let's get rid of the mindset that doing user interviews is a must-have in all case studies. Even if you didn't do user interviews, you need to fake it. No, doing user interviews is optional. And let's talk about how to tell a good story around things you actually contributed, even if you didn't do any user interviews, how to present your process. Interviewers are interested in knowing what methods you choose to understand user problems and why you choose those methods. So be honest and talk about what are some of the things you did to define the problem you solved. It could be your team worked with a third-party user research agency, and you were responsible for translating the user insights from the user research reports into design decisions. Do you elaborate on how you use user research insights to make design decisions? Technically, designers are not expected to conduct comprehensive user research because researchers are the experts and they should drive user research sessions. But designers are responsible for digesting key takeaways from user research and leverage those research findings to inform design decisions. So if you didn't do user interviews in a project, that is okay. But in your case study, you would need to showcase what are some of the alternative methods you took to understand users and define the user problems. And most importantly, talk about your rationale of why you choose those methods and how you use the user insights to come up with solutions that solved user problems. One common mistake I've seen in many people's portfolio is that they don't talk about team collaboration at all, or some of them would list a few cross-functional stakeholders title in the beginning of a case study, but never elaborate on how they work with them in their design process. And as a result, the case study just look like this is a project that is worked on by a team of one. Team collaboration is actually one of the most critical skills of a UX designer. As a designer, you need to work with so many different cross-functional stakeholders like product managers, engineers, peer designers, and many more. In many situations, especially when you're getting more and more senior in your role, the time you spend on communicating with other people and doing team collaboration is actually way more than the time you spend on creating designs in Figma or Sketch. So, being capable of collaborating well with others is going to determine if you'll be successful in the role, and almost all hiring managers would want to evaluate candidates' teamwork skills. In your case study, you would want to elaborate on each of the steps in your design process, who are the stakeholders you work with, and how you work with them. For example, in your case study, to present what you did for user research, you could talk about how you work closely with product managers and UX researchers to identify when user research was needed, and how you all work as a team to define some of the high-level objectives of this user research, how you all work together to come up with a research plan, and how you all split tasks to complete this user research. And do highlight the contributions you made in the teamwork, because interviewers are most interested in learning about the work that you did in order to evaluate your skills. Don't use generic words like we, us to describe teamwork. Give more concrete examples and details of the parts that you have contributed, and talk about how you work with other people to push a project forward. So this is everything I would like to share with you all today. Thank you so much for watching. If you think this video is helpful, please give it a thumb up. And if you have any questions or any topics that you're interested in, feel free to comment down below, and I'll see you guys next time.